Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on February 17, 2023. The Week in Wildlife, in Pictures, Environment. Gender trolling is curbing women's rights and making money for digital platforms. The Guardian, global study blames BJP-backed trolls for threats on journalists. The Hindu, story killers, women journalists abused by scourge of online attacks. Russia accused of trying to use TV to create Ukraine, digital ghetto. The Guardian, Russian TV airs wartime patriotism lessons for schoolchildren. Ruto Ali says Telegram account was hacked before Kenyan election. The Guardian, Eye on Africa, Team Jorge, sought to create wave of disinformation in Burkina Faso and more than 20 other nations. France 24 English, what is Cambridge Analytica? Group manipulated Nigerian election. Evening Standard, Dark Arts of Politics, how Team Jorge and Cambridge Analytica meddled in Nigerian election. The Guardian, The Debate, Agents of Disinformation, Dirty Politics and the Team Jorge Revelations. Syrians in Turkey cross border after earthquake. Taliban bans contraception calling use a Western conspiracy. Fox News hosts thought Trump's election fraud claims were total BS, court filings show. The Guardian, Fox, Dominion defamation suit is assault on First Amendment. The Independent, Fox owner Rupert Murdoch called stolen U.S. election claims crazy, court filings show. Financial Times, Carlson and Hannity among Fox hosts who didn't believe election fraud claims, court filings. The Guardian, Tucker Carlson called Trump a demonic force, reveals $1.6 billion Fox News defamation lawsuit. Senior Russian military official plunges 16 stories to her death falling from window. The Independent, top Putin official involved in funding Ukraine war dies in apparent suicide. The Telegraph, Russian defense official dies after falling from St. Petersburg Tower. Evening Standard, conscript tortured for refusing to deploy to Ukraine kills himself. The Times, another Russian official found dead after apparent plunge from high-rise apartment. Liz Truss calls for Taiwan support to tackle China threat. BBC, Liz Truss, democracies in danger from rise of China. The Times, UK's golden era with China sent wrong message, says Liz Truss. Sky News, Liz Truss's delusional speech about China is digging the trenches of a second Cold War. The Guardian, Truss urges West to safeguard Taiwan's security, before it's too late. Trump ridiculed for pretending he has been exonerated by grand jury. The Independent, Georgia grand jury report, witnesses may have lied in Trump 2020 election probe. BBC, the grand jury report proved what everyone, including Trump, already knew. The Independent, opinion, it's time to prepare for a possible Trump indictment. Ohio town reflects on chemical train derailment aftermath. BBC, Ohio train derailment, live, rail operator promises it will not walk away after snubbing town meeting. The Independent, East Palestine, Ohio residents demand answers in town hall after chemical train derailment, video. The Guardian, opinion, after the Ohio derailment disaster, the rail industry can do better. The New York Times, Ohio's train disaster could have been even worse. Russia-Ukraine war live, Zelensky says it is obvious, Putin will not stop with Ukraine, Macron calls for more military support. The Guardian, Zelensky predicts Russian loss and warns Belarus against attack. Politico Europe, live, Kamala Harris lands at Munich airport ahead of security conference. The Independent, the Irish Times view on Western support for Ukraine, the Irish Times. The Irish Times, Zelensky to open Munich summit amid fears of new Russian offensive. Why is South Africa's navy joining exercises with Russia and China? BBC, Russia set for joint naval drills with hypersonic missile as major security summit begins. Sky News, Africa's Navy stages controversial exercises with China, Russia. France 24 English, Exercise Mossy 2, Gungabele defends military drills with Russia, China despite broad condemnation. News 24, Russia to test missile in drills with China and South Africa. Japan Space Agency abandons rocket launch moments before liftoff. Sky News, Japan's new H-3 space rocket fails to blast off. Al Jazeera English, Japan aborts launch of first H-3 rocket carrying defense sensor. The Independent, Japan aborts launch of flagship H-3 rocket moments before liftoff. Reuters.com, Japan calls off H-3 rocket launch after engine failure. Taiwan finds crash site of suspected Chinese weather balloon. Alex Murdaugh trial hears how killer ambushed Paul before shooting Maggie on her knees. The Independent, Alex Murdaugh trial, son's final moments before dad ambushed and shot him dead. The Mirror, Murdaugh breaks down as expert shows how bullets tore through his wife and son's bodies. Daily Mail, Alex Murdaugh trial, live, bombshell call reveals Murdaugh confessing to side of road shooting plot. The Independent, new interview video released in Alex Murdaugh murder trial. BBC India, tax officials accuse organisation of irregularities. BBC, India aircraft deal shields Modi from backlash over BBC tax raids. The Independent, BBC India, search of offices in New Delhi and Mumbai ends after 3 days. BBC, The Guardian view on India's tax raid on the BBC, Modi versus the media. The Guardian, 3 reasons why the Modi government ordered an IT raid on BBC. None of them makes sense. Tunisia crackdown on opposition and media alarms rights groups. The Guardian, wave of raids, arrests target government critics in Tunisia. Al Jazeera English, Tunisian journalists demonstrate to denounce state repression. Africa News English, Tunisia high-profile arrests, opposition decries arrest of government critics, vows protests. France 24 English, Tunisia president rejects foreign interference after U.S. concern over arrests. Cyclone Gabrielle, temporary morgues set up in New Zealand as rescues continued. The Guardian, Cyclone Gabrielle, thousands yet to be contacted after New Zealand storm. BBC, Cyclone Gabrielle, New Zealand sets up temporary morgues after storm. The Telegraph, New Zealand cyclone fatalities reach 8, more deaths feared. The Independent, Cyclone Gabrielle, helicopter pilot balances on roof in daring New Zealand rescue, video. Those who fled to Turkey from war-torn Syria are being forced back after earthquake. Sky News, Turkey earthquake, girl survives 10 days under quake rubble. BBC, Turkey-Syria earthquake, 17-year-old girl rescued as hunt for bodies continues. The Guardian, Turkey-Syria earthquake, knee search dog helps in rescue of Turkish woman. BBC, May God make Turkey happy. Boy among 3 survivors found in last 24 hours. Tyre Nichols, ex-officers plead not guilty over his death. BBC, 5 former Memphis police officers plead not guilty to murder of Tyre Nichols. Evening Standard, 5 ex-officers plead not guilty to murder of Tyre Nichols in U.S. The Telegraph, Tyre Nichols' death, latest, 5 ex-police officers all deny murdering driver. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.